Welcome to our lecture online. Just so that these supermassive stars that we've been talking about are not just nameless and faceless stars, there's actually stars that we might be familiar with that fall in those categories. So of course, everybody knows the sun. We hopefully see it every morning when we get up. And then just beyond the size of the sun is Alpha Centauri, one of the brightest stars in the sky that can be seen from the southern hemisphere. But it's about the same size as the sun, just slightly bigger. Then the next star is Altair. If you want to find Altair, find the Summer's Triangle, and it's one of the three stars in the Summer's Triangle that is furthest to the south, and it's in the constellation Aquila, which is the eagle. Then Sirius is the absolute brightest star in the sky. You can see that looking southward when it's a little bit to the southeast of Orion, when you can find Orion. And then it's the brightest star in that constellation, also the brightest star in the sky, and so it's part of Canis Major, the large dog, the hunting companion of the hunter Orion. Then we have Vega, which is also part of the Summer's Triangle. If you look up, it's the largest of the three stars of the Summer's Triangle and the farthest to the northwest of the triangle. And it's part of the constellation Lyra, the Lyre. And then we have Spica. Spica is in the constellation Virgo. The way you can find Spica is to find the Big Dipper, look at the tail of the Big Dipper, you follow the tail through the sky about 1.5 times the length of the tail, and you get to Arcturus. And then if you continue on that same arc, another 1.5 times the length of the tail, then you get to Spica, which is part of the constellation Virgo. Then everybody knows the constellation Orion. The large bluish looking star is called Regal. It's a supermassive blue giant, and it looks like it may in the process of moving off the main sequence and becoming a red giant. And then some of the red giants you may be familiar with, Arcturus, which we just mentioned. Again, if you follow the handle of the Big Dipper, that arch-like structure, and you follow it 1.5 times the length, you get to the star Arcturus, and it's part of the constellation Buddhas, the herdsman. And then Taurus has a very large red giant called Aldebaran, which is kind of chasing the Pleiades open star cluster across the sky. Back in the old days, they thought of the Pleiades star cluster as the Seven Sisters being chased by Aldebaran across the sky. And then finally, a very massive size red giant Betelgeuse, part of Orion. And what's very interesting is just recently, in this past year, Betelgeuse has lost about 2/3 of its brightness, which is very strange, and nobody really knows why it's doing that. We know that Betelgeuse, being a massive red giant, is probably fairly close to reaching its supernova stage. It's one day is going to supernova, and because of these very strange changes that have been happening to it lately, we begin to wonder if it has something to do with that. Of course, we don't know yet. We still have to study it and trying to figure it out. But Betelgeuse, by all means, is one of the largest stars that we know of, and it is visible in the constellation of Orion. So you can see these massive stars are indeed familiar to us. We know a number of them that are within the visual range that you can see by just walking outside at night on a clear night and looking up in the sky. So at least now we're no longer dealing with faceless and nameless large stars. We are very familiar with some of the ones close in our neighborhood, and here they are.
So when you have Arcturus, by looking at that, can you say what kind of stars it is?
So that's a good question. So it's different from a typical red main sequence star because we can look at the light coming from it, and we can see some differences in the light coming from a main sequence red star and from a red giant. So if we don't know the distance to the star, we definitely can tell what type of red giant it is by looking at these spectral types. So besides having spectral classes, we have spectral types, and we look at the emission spectrum of these stars to try and figure out where exactly they belong in the red giant stage. So it can be done.
So what about Betelgeuse?
It has a different spectral type than Aldebaran and Arcturus, so we know the differences between them. Good questions. And I have answers. Not always. All right.
Done?
We're done for tonight.